With Star Wars: The Last Jedi just around the corner, we've taken it upon ourselves to revisit The Force Awakens to comb through for any clues as to what we might see in the upcoming Episode 8. While The Force Awakens was a great opener for the new trilogy, it left a whole load of loose threads dangling, and in this video I'm going to be diving back into Episode 7 to speculate on some of these unanswered questions while offering a quick primer for The Last Jedi. I'm going to be keeping thoughts and speculations geared specifically towards The Force Awakens here, as we'll be offering up some theories for The Last Jedi in a future video. But if, like us, you can't wait for Episode 8 to land in cinemas, why don't you subscribe to GameSpot Universe, where time will literally whiz past while you watch the rest of our Star Wars coverage.
That's not how
time
works.
Alright, we can't make time go faster, but make sure to subscribe because we're going to be covering the hell out of The Last Jedi in the run-up to its release and beyond. Alright, time to untangle some loose ends. We'll start with perhaps the biggest question to come out of The Force Awakens. No. The real question is, who are Rey's parents? There's odds on for Han and Leia, Luke, Obi-Wan, and even Qui-Gon Jinn as an outside bet for being her grandfather. There are a handful of clues that point to each of those suspects, but today I'm going to focus on the big one, Luke Skywalker. Okay, Luke might seem like an obvious choice, but there are loads of hints littered throughout The Force Awakens that he could potentially be Rey's father. Chief among these is the vision Rey experiences when she touches Luke's lightsaber at Maz's palace. Among the quick montage of clips, which includes little Rey getting abandoned by her family, we get a fair few nods to the Skywalker lineage. We hear Vader's iconic breathing in a Death Star-like corridor, we see Luke huddled with R2, and we see Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren massacring what we can assume is the remnants of Luke's new Jedi Order. And then, right after this scene, Maz entrusts Luke's lightsaber to Rey and says,
"That lightsaber was Luke's, and his father's before him, and now it calls to you."
The final and perhaps most evocative clue pointing to Luke is during the climactic fight with Rey, Finn, and Kylo Ren. As Kylo is reaching for Luke's lightsaber with the Force, the weapon diverts and flies towards Rey. And as it lands in her outstretched hand, the iconic theme for Luke Skywalker swells on the soundtrack. Okay, so it's not entirely concrete, but it does build a compelling case that Rey could be a Skywalker. Alright, going back to Luke's lightsaber for just 1 second, how did Maz get it?
A good question. For another time.
It's one of the more frustrating unanswered questions in The Force Awakens, as Disney and Lucasfilm are clearly biding their time for a big, dramatic reveal of this at some point. But as it stands, it just feels like a big, convenient plot hole right in the middle of the film. Of course, the last time we saw Luke's blue lightsaber was way back in The Empire Strikes Back, when it was unceremoniously removed from his person. Would have left it somewhere in an air vent in Cloud City, but according to a Star Wars display at Disneyland, the lightsaber was salvaged by a scavenger in the city's industrial depths, which for an item so significant is an infuriatingly vague way of filling in the gaps on its whereabouts. Maz has been around for a long time in the Star Wars universe, even if this is her first proper appearance in the Star Wars canon. So it's not a total stab in the dark to say that she might have come across the lightsaber on the invisible market, the Star Wars equivalent of the black market for all you fact fans. But as Maz says, this is just a good question for another time. The Last Jedi, please. Kylo Ren was widely considered to be one of the best new characters in Star Wars after his appearance in The Force Awakens, even if he was a bit of a petulant teenager. His character is dark and complex, and is clearly struggling with the pull from both the light and the dark sides of the Force. This ambiguity means that his motivations aren't always crystal clear, something that he grapples with during his heart-to-heart with old Grandpa Vader.
Forgive me. I feel it again. The call to the light.
Kylo references this internal conflict again during the climactic confrontation with his father, Han Solo, on Starkiller Base. As Han reaches out to his estranged son, Kylo throws him a lifeline.
I'm being torn apart. I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. Will you help me?
Before killing him. Yeah. But it's this scene that makes us feel like there's still some hope for Kylo, or more accurately, Ben Solo. His dialogue, while maddeningly vague, suggests that he's not entirely a bad egg. It doesn't hurt that Adam Driver totally knocked this scene out of the park, completely selling the idea of the character's internal conflict and making us believe that maybe, just maybe, there's some good left inside Kylo Ren. And finally, there's the question, just who is Supreme Leader Snoke? Portrayed as a towering 25-foot hologram in The Force Awakens, Snoke is actually a totally normal-sized man as witnessed in his brief appearance in the Last Jedi trailer. This shadowy Palpatine-like figure is clearly pulling the strings behind the First Order and Kylo Ren in Episode 7, but it's his secret identity that has sparked theories left, right, and center. There are suggestions that he's ancient Sith Lord Darth Plagueis, Gallius Rex from the Aftermath trilogy novels, or even the long-deceased sand hater, Anakin Skywalker.
I don't like sand.
It's become such a hot topic that even Rian Johnson, the director of The Last Jedi, has weighed in with this oh-so-subtle message. What we do know is that he's Force sensitive, an absolute wrong'un when it comes to the dark side, and has been around long enough to witness both the rise and fall of the Galactic Empire. Aside from training Kylo Ren, we also know from the wider canon that he's had other apprentices and that his motivations are geared towards eradicating the Jedi, which, to be fair, is nothing new for the Sith. Whether his true identity will be significant to the rest of the trilogy remains to be seen, but hopefully we'll get some answers about Snoke in The Last Jedi. Of course, these are just some of the questions we've gleaned from looking back at The Force Awakens, but there are loads of threads that are still dangling. Why does R2-D2 wake up at this exact moment? Who are the Knights of Ren? Why is Luke in hiding? And what is he doing? But perhaps, most importantly, fingers crossed for that last one. Anyway, thank you for watching this deep dive back into The Force Awakens. For everything to do with Star Wars, make sure you subscribe to the GameSpot Universe YouTube channel. Are there any unanswered questions that you think we've missed? Let me know in the comments below, or come find me on Twitter. I'm at LucyJamesGames. And of course, if you're shipping Yaz, or Moda, as I like to call them too, definitely let me know about that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.